Well, day after the day before, that will be Sunday, the 5th of July, and it is venue Turffontein Racecourse. It is the venue for the running of the third leg of the Winter Series, which last year was swept off by Schwarzenegger, whom we hope would have run a great race the day before. We are on a Friday morning recording for our weekend racing, and now we turn our attentions to Turffontein, the Highveld, where we have a very competitive card with the combination of that Winter Series. First leg, that was King Harold. The second leg was Errol Flynn, who hopes to make it 2 out of 3. But let's get to race 2, and a horse that I'm sure we will see back in KZN at the end of the month, and that is Inflame, is our topic, and looks to be a class above anything else. Let's have a look at that run on the 28th of April. It was finale day, which had been moved due to the weather, and it's those familiar silks of Mr. Nestad and partners, Mr. C.R. Mellinger and Paul Marks. Let's hear Daryl's thoughts.
Yes, what a lovely sort. What an improving staying type. And he got the better of a very, very nice sort over here. Look who's back in third, Aladdin's Lamp. And obviously this is a perfect race for him to get back onto winning ways. I mean, if you just have a look at the best weighted column, he's slung in over here. I mean, he's 4 kilograms best in, ahead of Moment and Ethical. I don't know if Ethical, I'm sure she'll stand her ground. Because of the
scratchings.
Because of the scratchings. But yes, Banker inflaming the bipod, obviously.
Yes. Just to confirm that it was a field of 7 runners carded, it is now just the 4 with the scratchings of 2 Breeze over, the 4 Kudzu, and the 5 Deception Pass. Banker the 1, and there will be a couple more bankers in leg 2, race 3, number 4. That is also a banker within reach. And then in a race number 7, leg 6, we have the banker of the 3. That's your bipod. Please take note of the off time of our second of 10, 5:12. Right, the place accumulator starts in race number 3. This is a Telebet 0861 000 juvenile plate. It's over the 1400 meters. We've been reduced to 6 runners with the scratching of the 7 up and up. And we are now looking at a rerun of what will be one of the selections from Mr. Marie, currently 13 to 10. That's a 4 within reach. Lightly raced, last seen on a track on the 28th of March over the 1400 meters. At the Val, it was a yielding going, and that was beaten second, a quarter of a length by a very useful Moana. Daryl, maybe you can take us through. Moana, we know, has made it back-to-back victories.
Yeah, doesn't Moana look like a lovely filly in the making? Yes, within reach towards the outside, and take note, the grey is obviously impressive. So on paper, there's not much separating them. However, there is a weight turnaround, and this time around, within reach, not only did she beat impressive, but she's now also 3 kgs better off. And I thought she was very unfortunate over there. Another stride, she gets up to beat Moana. I actually think this filly is one of the best fillies in the country. I think she may go on to the Tequini month end, the grade 1 on Gold Cup Day. Wouldn't be surprised me if she meets Moana once again and she reverses that form. I thought she'd be short in the market. I think there's a lot of value about her, and I expect her to win despite this being a prep run for bigger and better things. What I can say, Cess, is number 5, Bellflower, was so green on debut. If you got the time, watch the replay. You know, have a look at that dam. Oklahoma Sky, that makes her a half-sister to Pistol Pete.
Wow.
Yeah.
The first Pistol Pete, the first Buffalo Bill Cody to ever run.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think, I'm not saying she can trouble within reach, but I think she's one to keep an eye on. So banker number 4 within reach in the opening leg of the place accumulator.
We will keep that in mind. Bellflower 1 for the notebook, but 4 within reach also in bold and highlighted. One of the best around within reach. Look out to 26 July. And that will be when the 2-year-olds meet in several Group 1s. The outlay for that PA is 200 Rand and off time to race 3, 20 to 1. Please be reminded the 7 is a scratching. Start of an interesting pick 6, and that is race 4, place 6 at 10, soccer 6, 10, and 13. A juvenile plate is over the 1400 meters. Happy to report at this junction, no scratchings have come through. So 9 runners, 9 very talented sorts are going to be facing up. We're going to start with the Dawson stable, not for the first time today. The 5 expert witness, well-related half-brother to a horse that she had a lot of success with, and that is a perfect witness who won 7 races from a distance of 1,200 meters to 2,000 meters. Let's have a look at the last run of expert witnesses. That was on the inside track, and that was behind a subsequent winner, in fact, King's Iced, who has done very well.
Yes, and that could be the key also of your Knight's Heist.
Knight's Heist, King's Iced, Knight's Heist, yes.
Take note, says in between runners, staying on for 5th in the red with the black. That is Raf's Oracle?
Uh-huh.
And yeah, we see Joe Sommer trained, got the Tiger.
Uh-huh.
And this wasn't a bad effort. It's a little bit green behind runners. Staying on over there. Staying on nicely. And look who's just ahead of him. Knight's Heist.
Yes.
So there's not much separating Knight's Heist and Expert Witness and Snowblade, Raf's Oracle, and Got the Tiger. So it's going to be a lovely race. I can say that I liked what I saw from Got the Tiger on debut. He's now stepping up a furlong to 1,400. He's drawn 1 with Keegan de Mello. He's surely going to come on with that effort under his belt, and he's probably going to be the money horse come race time. Number 1, I haven't included Dear Doc because he's been gelded now, and there is an equipment change. I think his tongue tie
is on.
Is on for the first time,
as is the case with the stable companion.
And you know, it says when this horse is allowed to stride up front, he can be dangerous, and I think that's going to be the case. What I find very interesting over here is that Gavin has been riding a lot for Candice and Tammy Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
He rides Minogue for them yesterday at Hollywood Bets, and he rides Inflame for them. And now, I don't know if he's had the choice of rides, but he's on number 8 over here, which I find very interesting because surely he got offered number 5. And
perhaps he was beaten. He snoozed and he...
Perhaps. Well, let's find out. I'm sure Vicky will give us the lowdown on Sunday. But you can see with my pick 6, I went all of numbers 1, 5, 6, 8, and 9. However, if you saw my took notes of my bipod, says I only went numbers 6 and 8, and that's Got the Tiger and Gavin Lorena's mount, Raf's Oracle.
Okay, so that is the story, and of course you know who's got the sibling to Got the Tiger. A very useful sort from Sarki.
Okay.
Yeah, that won a group feature, I think, in times gone by, grade 3, I think. Yeah.
I didn't find that under the breeding.
I
is. Looked.
You must have a look.
Princess Irene.
I think you will find that. I think there's Psyche there somewhere.
Might be in the family, yeah. But I recall her being raised by
Platinum Racing. Drockenstein, it was, yeah. And it's bred by Drockenstein.
Yeah.
So there's your answer.
Brett Crawford used to have a...
Anyway, that is a pick 6. Take note of that off time. 13, 15, we're going to actually discuss and dissect this for quite a while. And that is the 4th of 10. Well, just to do a bit of housekeeping, correction, and Mr. Marie, very correct. The 7, Hard Tree, who will be one of a couple of first-timers in race 4, is actually the half-brother to Sarki. That is race 4, number 7. Let's get to race number 5 now, and this is where the first of our 2 jackpots gets underway. Race 7 will be the start of race, the second and final jackpot. Right, we're going to go to our reruns as per selected, and our first rerunner will be the mowing trained. Wish you were here. That is Wes and Wayhill Mowing's winner. In fact, 5th place last time at 3.20 lengths behind, and that was Evening Parade. Now, this is in the colours of Mr. Kukurmo, who's invested a lot in the game.
Absolutely, and it was nice to see this combination finally break the ice. And I think it's a stable that you can follow. Says it wasn't a bad effort. The form line hasn't lit up, but he's got the experience, he's fit. I mean, a good few runners from here came out and unfortunately didn't find the money in the next starts. Yeah, this replay was quite a while ago, a good couple of months ago. And what's the matter with you? When running 3rd behind Catfish, beats in a steeplechase margin. But I just want to say this, Sis. I read the comments from the syndicate on their websites.
This is the Hollywood Racing.
Yeah, and I don't want to misquote
Uh-huh.
them, so let me just pull it up here quickly. So
Well, look at the
what's the
horses
matter
there.
with you? What's the matter with you? The son of Fireway is doing well at home. If reproducing what he has been showing at home, we can expect to see vast improvements. And he's been rested and gelded. So I've included him. But I just want to say thank you to Matt and Mark de Kock, sponsored by Lucky Fish. They sent through the comments for their first timers in race number 5. And numbers 2, Glastonbury Fire, and number 7, Pole Position, haven't really been showing much at home. Number 2 is looking for further, and number 7 will come on a lot with this run under his belt. They do have a slight preference for number 9, Spicy Plum, who should be competitive on debut. So I think what's key over here is if you do want to have a bet, because I don't think the form on offer here isn't overly strong. So I wouldn't be surprised if a first timer does come up trumps. Just follow the market, follow the canter past, and closer to race time, I'm sure you'll see who's fancied and who's not. With regards to the jackpot, I included number 1, Wish You Were Here. I included number 6. This is a bit of a lunatic selection, but you know, he's by Chimichurri run and he's been rested and gelded, and Alson's brought him right back in trip. He's going to race fresh. I think there is a bit of a outside chance with regards to number 6, Field of Dreams. Included number 7, I included number 9 and number 10.
What's the matter with you? And I mean, you look at the names that it has run
Yes,
behind.
yes,
I
it's
think
well spotted.
you've really found this one there. 1, 6, 7, 9, and 10. And the banker will come in leg number 3. That would render that race number 7 for now. 100 Rand is the outlay. That is a wrap of race 5. Jackpot 1 gets underway with a tab4racing.com maiden plate over the 1160. We now get into race number 6. We're into the second half of a 10-race program. There's a Pinnacle Stakes over the 1,800 meters. And without further ado, we're going to go to our rerun. And it's a much talked about horse, and that is in the form of number 1, the Equator, now under the tutelage of Stu Pettigrew. Last year, this time was being seen parading and caught the eye in the Consolation. That was the July Consolation last year. Right, this is in the Jubilee, a race won by Aladdin's Lamp, but did show some very good promise indeed, just under 3.5 lengths behind Aladdin's Lamp, who will come through in those familiar Murugasa silks that have had a time of it, including a Group 1, a gold medallion. And of course, there is Copper, is that Copper Eagle? I think that is Copper Eagle. Mr. Marie, sorry, I took your stole your thunder there. Right, I'll leave it to you now. Sorry, I just got carried away.
Well, in that replay, you obviously saw the winner of the Tab Jubilee Stakes, and that was Aladdin's Lamp. So he runs in the Hollywood Beds Durban July. So does Olivia's Way, who ran 4th in that replay. If you got the time, go back onto social media and watch that replay again, because Wild Intent also runs in that replay in the orange silks, and he got taken out when making a run. And it looked like he was going to be very competitive in the latter stages. He was doing his best work towards the end, and then just found traffic problems. In saying that, the Equator ought to have come on from that. It was his first run in quite some time, and he challenged quite early. And I thought he did extremely well to stay on in the latter stages. Mr. Pettigrew is flying at the moment, and it's great to see his yard turn, because he went through a terrible spell, but everything's running well. You can expect the same from the Equator. So I think it's going to be dominated between numbers 1 and 2 over here. The Equator and 2, Wild Intent.
1 and 2. Thank you very much. The Pinnacle Stakes over 1,800 meters and confirmed. He's putting his money down. Now 1 and 2 should fight out that first leg of the pick 3. By bank of the 3, that is Errol Flynn. By 2, 3, and 9 in race 8, that is Almond C, Quantum Theory. And number 9 would be Slinky Mapimpi, who can fly up and looks like has been dropped in the race. That is the pick 3, outlay 60 Rand. Race number 6, 14.25. Okay, so we come to the highlight of Sunday afternoon at the Big T. It is the running of the third leg of the Winter Series and a long-standing feature. Tab Sea Cottage takes a grade 3 over the 1800 meters, where we see Errol Flynn hoping to make it back-to-back victories in this particular series. Now, this was the second leg, and this was the Igoli Mile. That is on the 7th of June. Perhaps Daryl can take us through what looked to be an eye-catching victory.
Yes, now the front horse went very hard, Firestorm, and he came back to the field. And have a look. Keegan's yet to ask him, but now he's asking him, and he's extending. Next to him on the outside, he's Got the Feeling, but Got the Feeling's well held on this run, and he's worse off at the weights. And you can see this was over a mile, Cess, and now you gain an extra 200, and he was just getting stronger. So hard to see Got the Feeling reversing the form. Once again, this is that same form line. Have a look at Wild Intent in the orange there, getting eased and taken out. We'll know how this form line's worked out with Aladdin's Lamp, Olivia's Way, the Equator. But yeah, Copper Eagle lets down well towards the outside. And I thought this was a cracking run. I do have respect for Copper Eagle. He's a nice 3-year-old. He lost his way a bit, but Robin's always had faith in him, and it's nice to see him really run above his rating, and that's the hence the reason for his penalty in his penultimate start. But last time out he confirmed it, and he ran a cracking race, and he really got going late. Chronicle King, another really nice individual. I know Muzi rode the race to a T in his penultimate start, and it worked out well for him. Don't know if that's going to be the case of here, because this is a stand-side 1800. It's a testing track, so things will really have to pan out well for him if he's going to dictate the pace up front, because you also got World of Royalty who's probably going to push forward. But I got respect. I'm sitting here and saying I got respect for Chronicle King and Copper Eagle, because they're both very nice horses. But this horse, Errol Flynn, just the manner in which he's been winning his races recently, you have to be very, very encouraged with what's to come, because we haven't seen the best of him yet. And Mr. Soma had those knee ops, but not only have the knee ops put a spring in his step, so has Errol Flynn recently. So
You said it, I didn't say a word. Huh?
it's a small field. If he comes out sluggishly like he's got a tendency to do, he shouldn't be too far back. And like I said, I do see a little bit of pace in the race, so I'm expecting him to pick them off once again. Banker number 3, Errol Flynn.
Right, so King in the Middle retains a ride, and he'll be looking to make it 4 wins from 5 rides. That's a banker, Errol Flynn. And of course, we talk about Chronicle King. Who can forget last year, July Day, set the rot for what was a big payout. 670,000 Rand was the final dividend. But let's hope it comes back to 4. That is the big one on the afternoon. The Sea Cottage Stakes of grade 3, race number 7. And that's over the 1800 meters. And be reminded, it's the start of Jackpot 2. Bank the 3. Right, we get into race number 8. Now, if things are not quite going the way they have been hoped for over the weekend, here's the last chance to get involved in a pick 3, and it could be a lucrative one. We're going to have a look at a Pinnacle Stakes over the 1160 and a Taxi to the Moon. That is your favorite at around 11 to 5. Number 2, Almond C, 9 to 2, 11 to 2. Our numbers are 4 African Pride and the 7 Chapbook, 8s and better, bar those quoted run as well. As a 4-year-old, Almond C is still going strong and seems to have rediscovered what could be a winning thread. Let's have a look at that last run of the 16th of May. It was a Pinnacle Stakes over the 1100 meters. Daryl, change of colours, but definitely the ability is still there.
Yes. Now, towards her inside is Quantum Theory in the Verner's Family Silk. So, also in this race was Slinky Mapengpi, in between runners with the red cap, staying on starkly. Yeah, a nice run by all 3 of them.
Taxi to the Moon. This is a run that is one for the ages. Take us through this run.
Now, this was the run back in the CAB Computer Form Sprint Grade 1, and look who he's running just behind, who got the better of him in the same silks, is Buffalo Storm Cody.
At level weights.
Yeah, so, I mean, this horse says, how well has he done since being gelded? He's unbelievable. And last time out, the 1200 at Scottsville's got that rising ground towards the end, the Golden Horse Sprint.
Yeah.
And he found another gear. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually try him over further.
Can I ask you, have you ever been to the start of the 1200 at
No, I
Scottsville?
haven't.
Please make the
But I've
trip.
seen
You
it.
can't see the finishing
Yeah.
pole.
Oh, you
can't
can't.
see it.
Oh,
You
from
cannot
that
see it.
angle.
Yeah, Dees took me down there one day.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so, he's by Vercingetorix. From what I saw in the Golden Horse, I thought this was 1400, no doubt. But anyway, that's not the case this time round. If you just have a look at the weights, now he's got a penalty in his last two starts and he's up to 126 and he's still out at the weights of a year. So he needs to raise his game even further, which I find very interesting. But nevertheless, he's in with a strong winning chance. Almond C needs a particular ride. And I think Gavin knows that he needs to make sure that he settles her in the early stages for her to produce that finishing burst. I'd love to see her back in the winner's enclosure. She deserves it. Quantum Theory's at a nice prep. African Pride's in great form. But I'm tipping the viewers. Number 9, Slinky Mapimpi as a place getter. I wouldn't be surprised if he can win. He's not out much at the weights. He loves the course and distance. And if you have a look at the race, there's a lot of pace towards the inside. There's the likes of the Last Duke, African Pride. If he can just track a few through over here, I think he could be finishing best of all. So don't be surprised if number 9 happens to fight out the finish. On his day, he's very, very useful, is number 9, Slinky Mapimpi.
Thank you so much. So that is the Formulans who have kept 9 Slinky Mapimpi, now a 6-year-old, ticking over so beautifully. 25 runs, 4 wins, 8 seconds, a third, and 4 fourths to boot. So that is number 9, Slinky Mapimpi, and each way ball, at least a place selection for Daryl. Thank you very much for that. Let's head to the last leg of the Pick 6, and that'll be race 9. All right, last leg of the Pick 6, and this is the last Pick 6 of the weekend, the July weekend. It is race 9. You can bet on us, merit rated 96. 1400 meters is the trip, and basically just giving you the rerun, or 2 reruns, very interesting reruns. And I can say with a bit of authority, Mr. Marie has fallen in love with the first rerun. It is Kensal, first horse, Kensal Green. He's been following this for some time, and so it's worth taking note. It was on the inside track. And that is on the date, the 4th of June. Can you take us through, Mr. Marie?
Yes. Now, the horse she ran behind is towards the outside, the eventual winner with the light blue sleeves. That's Warning Sound, who comes out, who's a scratching on Sunday. Ovation Star in the Hollywood Racing Silks didn't quite frank the form, but I think maybe she went a little bit too slow at Hollywood Bet Scottsville. I don't know if that's the case. But she ran a lovely race at Kensal Green. Now this is Chestnut Bomber, and have a look at the ground. Chestnut Bomber and Boundless Love put between themselves and their opposition over here. Boundless Love since then has come out to win again and to run third. Orange County, 4 odd lengths behind, came out and ran second, so did Bloomington. And take note, Keegan DeMello was aboard last time out, and now the son of Lancaster Bomber has been fitted with a set of blinkers. So I don't know if that's the feedback that Keegan gave him, or gave Mr. Van Vuren, but nevertheless, he comes back to 1400 with a set of blinkers, and the stable's flying, so got respect for him. It's a very small but competitive field. Dainton of Santon, lovely to see him bounce back. I mean, his rating was extremely high. It was a 108, came right down to a 92, and he was competitive. He's now off a 94, so I don't foresee any issues with him not being able to back it up with a similar effort. I like the look of number 1 over here, the top weight, and that's Silver Tudor. I don't think much was asked of him because of the slow start last time out on the poly track. And, he needs to be ridden cold. And I'm not put off by the fact of the draw, because that will enforce a patient ride. So he's going to come out slowly. He's going to hopefully see all things unfold ahead of him. And Craig will try to produce him. That's if Craig's around and he hasn't won the Hollywood Bets Derby July and partied the night away. But if he's riding Silver Tudor, he'll try to produce him when he can see the whites of the judge's eyes. So yeah, I have really healthy respect for number 1, Silver Tudor. So that's my double. 1 and 7, says.
Yeah.
4 and 5 in race number 10.
1 and 7 by 4 and 5. Well, I can tell you, Craig, in an interview last Sunday, was quoted as saying he will only celebrate on the 1st of August. So
Okay.
all this about champion jockey elect, all that we've given, labeled him, that is waiting until the 1st of August. Well done to you, Daryl. Well done to Len. Well done to Alina earlier on. And of course, we cannot do it without our team behind the scenes, Ricky De Silva and Mr. Dylan Wilson. Thank you very much to those very talented gentlemen. We will see you again soon. Have a happy July weekend, and we'll meet you on the other side.